Okay, so Heather asked if I would do I don't know if this is going to be a short video, but if I would do a video giving you some tips and tricks on what I do for my meal planning. I'll be happy to. Just, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because a lot of you still cook meals for husbands and families and yourselves and for dinner especially, and I don't. Which, is a little sad, but it's also pretty cool. I pretty much eat, my Shakeology is my dinner. But anyway, I will absolutely share with you some of the shopping tips and where I go for different things and what I've incorporated into my meal plan, and use whatever it is that you want. I always, on Sundays, let's just start with a little bit of prep. On Sundays, I always hard boil some eggs. I hard boil enough so I can have about 3 egg whites every morning for breakfast while I'm at the office. So that's prep on Sunday. I also will go shopping and make sure I have in season, whatever fruits in season, but I like strawberries and blueberries. I use these mostly for my evening casein protein concoction. But yes, Heather, I do. I go and I buy a supply of strawberries and I chop them all up and they're ready. I can use these in my Shakeologies if I want a little bit more of a smoothie with some extra, my purple in it, if I have extra purple left to use. These are blueberries that I've got rinsed in a container. So that's prep. Let's see. I usually will get zucchini, or now that it's fall, spaghetti squash. So I'm big when it comes to meal prep in advance. I do a lot of vegetables. I eat lunch. I have a Snap Kitchen near me, so I usually will buy a Snap Kitchen for my lunch to bring to the office, which is really convenient. But if I didn't have that, I would probably buy a roasted turkey at H-E-B or wherever. They all have those roasted turkeys, and then take it off the bone and put it in a container. And I would bring that with, I always have a supply of spinach. So I would bring not turkey, I think I mean chicken. The chicken and spinach, and you can make a salad at work. That's always convenient. I bring plenty of vegetables. If I go shopping at Whole Foods, sometimes in their prepped foods section, I'll find some yummy cauliflower. I like Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. So prepping in advance for vegetables, I would prep zucchini, spaghetti squash. I would prep zucchini. Lately I've been sauteing this. I'll chop it or slice it, and then I saute it with a tiny bit of olive oil and sun-dried tomatoes, julienne sliced sun-dried tomatoes, drained with most of the olive oil drained out of it. That gives it some flavor. Let's see. This is the hummus I use for my hard-boiled eggs. It makes them taste like deviled eggs. I get this at Whole Foods. I always have apples on hand because before I leave the office around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I have yogurt. I'll take one of these to the office. This is Trader Joe's. You can also get, Chobani. So at 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I leave the office, I'll have yogurt and some chopped apple. That's my afternoon snack, and that gets me to where when I come home, I'm not starving and I have the energy to do my workout. Let's see. I get this at Trader Joe's. This is I love this. This is uncured turkey bacon, and it's only at Trader Joe's, this particular brand, and it is absolutely the best. I always have pico de gallo on hand for lots of different things. One of my favorite, I do cook on the weekends, by the way. One of my favorites, this is at Trader Joe's. These are chili lime chicken burgers. So I will make, they have 150 calories, 19 grams of protein, 3 carbs, and 6 grams of fat. And they have flavor. It's not just a plain old turkey burger. So chili lime chicken burgers. So I'll cook up one of these on the weekend. And what I do, because I don't use much in the way of salt at all, I don't like sweating and having it salty sweat in my eyes. This is also from Trader Joe's, green olive tapenade. It's hopefully you know look it up if you don't know what tapenade, and it's sliced, it's chopped up olives with some diced tomatoes and onions and other spices in it. So I'll make a chicken burger or a turkey burger. I put some tapenade on it because it's very low in calories, and I also will put a spoonful of pico on it, and usually combine that with edamame, because I supplement my meals, my food with soy, because I found that it helps reduce my hot flashes, because I'm going through that particular phase of life right now, and adding soy to my diet has helped with that. So I'll have the chicken burger with some brown rice and some edamame and a vegetable, some vegetable, depends on what I'm doing. For during the week at work, another tip, I always have a supply on hand of grape tomatoes and of little baby carrots, and I usually will, I stuff a Ziploc bag, I mix it up together, I just put grape tomatoes and baby carrots in the same little Ziploc bag, and I have it at the office. So no matter what, if I am starving, I'll grab that as one of my greens, one of my vegetable portions for the day. You can get these anywhere. I always have in the freezer a supply of frozen fruit. This is mostly for my Shakeologies when I make smoothies. These are icy. Let me put these in the freezer. People have asked about Ezekiel bread, having a hard time finding it. If anyone else is wondering, Ezekiel bread is in the frozen section. You'll find it where you would find frozen breads, frozen garlic loaves, and things like that. It's not going to be in your fresh bread section. It's because it's sprouted whole bread, it will sprout. It will go bad if they leave it on the shelf. Always have a supply of apples, I told you. Red peppers. I like raw red peppers when it comes to my green portions. For spaghetti squash, I've got some cooked up in here that has a little bit of Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and a tiny bit of olive oil in it. And what I'll do is I just throw some marinara sauce on top of it. So it's sort of like spaghetti, but not spaghetti, but much better for you and compliant with the plan. You can get this at H-E-B, or this happens to be Trader Joe's brand, but I get non-fat, plain, no sweetening in it, yogurt, Greek yogurt. I pretty much use just Greek yogurt, and I, because it's plain with no sweetener, I use stevia for that, because I have to tell you, you know, we all have our certain little treat that we want in our, that we just can't live without or are willing to sacrifice something else for. I have coffee in the morning, and I use regular raw cane sugar. I use sugar in it. I don't use Splenda in it. I don't use stevia in it. I just use a teaspoon of sugar in it. So when I use the plain yogurts, that's when I'll add some stevia just to get a little of the tartness out of there. What else do I have here? Oh, someone had asked me about, and I couldn't find a picture of it, but I love half and half in my coffee. Someone turned me on to this. This is Trader Joe's, so hopefully you have a Trader Joe's near you, because this is Trader Joe's coconut creamer, and it is not quite as creamy as half and half, but it's close enough that it does the trick for me. So I always have this. My other go-to, especially during the day, if I need another cup of coffee, is I always have on hand cold brewed coffee, cold pressed, cold brewed, cold pressed. Anyway, and I mix it with unsweetened almond milk. You can get almond milk anywhere. This happens to be Whole Foods brand. I like the one from Whole Foods, and I always have a couple of these in my refrigerator. So I mix this with the cold pressed coffee and a tiny little bit of sugar, and virtually no calories to that. And it keeps my, it's just another way to get liquid in and another way to not feel hungry when I am not eating as much as maybe my stomach says it wants me to. I think that's about it, Heather. Food prep, yeah, I do it on Sundays. I stop at Snap Kitchen on the way home from church, and I hard boil my eggs, and I cook up whatever vegetables I want. And if there's something in the way of protein that I want to make sure I have for during the week, sometimes I'll pick up you can find really good now salmon on like the wooden planks, and it's all got seasoning on it already. You just throw it in the oven and you cook that up, and then you can separate it into portions, and that is really handy to eat during the week. That's about it for now. Oh, peanut butter. Crunchy natural. I go for the one, when you're looking for peanut butter, always look at the ingredients if you haven't already, and make sure you get one with as low an amount of sugar in it as possible. Not Jiffy, not Skippy, virtually no sugar. That's just part of what you need to do. I don't have them in here. I get almonds. I usually pick mine up from Trader Joe's. Again, I love Trader Joe's. So I always have a Tupperware container of almonds hanging around, so that if I'm in a pinch and my calorie intake is low for the day, or I just, whatever, I just grab a handful of almonds. Comment when I post this video. Comment below if you have any questions or things I didn't answer. I'm sure there's going to be something, and I will be happy to fill in the blanks for you as best as I can. I had a remote, but it's not working very well, so I'm going to just do it this way. See ya.